Hi everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni and the Widow Ruckelshaus, and I am anxious to Mod Podge this cover. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's not hard at all. It's really easy. I told you a few videos back to go ahead and order your Mod Podge. I have ordered the gloss Mod Podge, and I should have probably told you before ordering, but it's okay. The matte Mod Podge is a little bit more forgiving if you get streaks from your brush and everything, but I'm going to show you how to take care of that. The gloss it shows streaks a little bit more and stuff, but you can get around that. And also, because this is shabby chic, really doesn't matter. You kind of want those imperfections in it, so that's okay. So this is Mod Podge. There are other brands, but Mod Podge has been around since, like, I don't know, the 60s or 70s. I used to use it a lot as a teenager, and it's just like it's glue, so you can use it for gluing things on, but it's especially good for decoupage. For, you know, like this, we've glued all these pieces of book pages onto our cover inside and out, but now we want to make it so that, you know, none of that, see how this is coming up here and everything. We're going to just cover it with this glossy coat, which is going to make it really pretty. It's going to make it stable, and it's going to make it last for just about forever. So I'm going to do the inside first, and I can see this part here is coming up a little bit. I want to glue that down just because it's at the edge. If it was doing that someplace in the middle, I wouldn't worry about it, but since it's on the edge, I'm just afraid that the Mod Podge might not quite hold it down. So let's put a tiny bit of glue in there. Doesn't matter that the glue is squishing out, because it'll just mix with the Mod Podge. That's right on the spine, so it's going to get more wear and tear from bending and everything. So that's why I'm just doing that there. I don't need to wait for it to dry or anything like that. You do want to put down some plastic or something. I could do it on top of my crafting pad here, but you know, I'd have to take it and wash it and everything. It's just easier to do it on a piece of plastic. You don't need to worry about ruining anything that way. I did put on some older clothes. You can see I've got on an orange t-shirt that has paint on it and stuff, because if this stuff gets on it, officially I think they say that it'll wash out, but since I wash most of my clothes in cold water, it doesn't wash real well. So okay, so this is a new one that I just bought, so I'm just opening it up. This stuff lasts forever. I have seen some crafters put saran wrap over the top before they put the lid on. I'm not sure if they've had problems with it drying out. I never have. But that's something to keep into consideration, take into consideration. So I like these sponge brushes. Those work a lot better, in my opinion, than a regular paintbrush. You can use a regular paintbrush, but that's where you're going to run into leaving brush marks and stuff, which, like I said, on a project like this doesn't really matter. Okay, so see how this part is sticking up a little bit? So I'm going to stick a glob of Mod Podge underneath there before I press this down, and then that'll help hold it closed. I want to make sure that I get the corners really well. I'm only going to do one side right now, and I'll do the other side later. I probably won't videotape doing the other side because it's really the same thing. The other reason I like to do it on plastic instead of paper, I've noticed a lot of people doing it on paper. The reason I don't do it on top of paper is because sometimes the paper sticks to the Mod Podge and then it sticks to your project, and that's not really good. One thing that I used to use Mod Podge for a lot was I would, before they had distressing ink like this, I was going for the same effect. I would like write a poem or something on a piece of paper, and then I would tear the edges. No, I didn't tear the edges. I burnt them. I lit them on fire with a match and held them over the sink. You know, I'm kind of surprised my mom let me do that, but she did. And I held them over the sink and burnt around the edges to get kind of the same effect as what we've got here with the distressing. So much easier with ink. And then I would use the Mod Podge to put it on a candle, which obviously you're not going to burn because burning glue is probably not a great idea. Or I would put it onto a piece of wood or something else, you know, another hard surface, and then make those to give as gifts and stuff. So that was fun. So that was kind of my introduction to Mod Podge as a teenager, and I've just kept using it all these years. It's wonderful stuff. So I'm just making sure that any edges that are coming up, that I poke a little bit of Mod Podge underneath that, and then as I apply Mod Podge on top of it, I'm pressing down to just seal that. This is going to make the cover a little bit harder, stiffer, which I like. It's this, because I chose gloss, is going to be shiny. The matte obviously isn't shiny. That's kind of the point of matte. So I want to get this as flat as possible so that these areas where the spine is, so that they'll go down. It would have been a lot easier if I had done this right after making this. Since it's been bent closed for so long, those parts are coming up, but I didn't have Mod Podge at that time. I had used up what I had and I didn't realize it. Okay, so that's it. I've got some gloppy areas, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of smooth those out here, like so. Any paper that's sticking up is going to be kind of hard, and if you want that extra texture, that's kind of fun. If you want it to be flat, then you need to make sure that you get those flat, because you're not going to be able to do it after this stuff dries. Okay, so here we go. That corner keeps coming up, so I want to make sure I've got stuff under it to hold it closed. And that's it, you guys. I mean, there's nothing real tough about it. That's all. That's all that there is to it. I've made sure that I've gotten any glops. There are a few places where I've got, you know, streaky lines and stuff, and I'm okay with that because this is shabby chic. So I'm really not worried about it. I picked it up just now because I didn't want it to stick and tear when I pull it out from that. So that's it. I'll put a link for the Mod Podge below, and for these sticks, I usually get a package of, I think it's like 36 or something, because I really go through these. I use them for painting backgrounds. When I do, you know, just like a wash over the back before I do my actual backgrounds on paintings and stuff. So I go through these quite a bit. They're really cheap. You can get them at Walmart too. So anyway, that's it. There's nothing complicated to today's tutorial, and I will see you next time. Love you all. Bye-bye.